Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today to talk to you about witching through anxiety. So first of all, there's my cat, Rosa. She's leaving. Rosa, come here. Come here. She's a pretty kitty. This is my altar baby. And while I pet her, let me address the elephant in the room, my head. I filmed several videos because I'm working on getting more content scheduled up front and all of this stuff. So I don't recall if I filmed some, but what happened was about a week ago or two, no, it was one, I wanted to shave and I shaved half of my head and I had the other half. And I loved the shaved part so much that I shaved the rest of my head last night. Not even a week, and I got sick of the hair I had. So if you see any incongruencies with videos that I've filmed, some of them having half my hair, some of them not, then that is why. So the other little disclaimer is I'm having some trouble with my reticulating arm, which I use to hold my phone while I film. So if it slides or is weird, I'm working on it. If you would like to help me be able to upgrade and fix my equipment, like, subscribe, support my channel, you can check out my Patreon, you can check out my website. If you book services with me, that is helping me be able to slowly improve my content and keep my bills paid and all of that stuff. So there's all sorts of ways if you want to help, but I'm working with what I've got until I've got the money to upgrade to something better. Anywho, on to the video. We're sitting at my altar, which I love that I found a way to set this up. I got a whole rig. It's a thing. I might, for funsies, just take a little clip of it to show you and put it here because it's ridiculous. So this is my little setup. There's my desk where I normally sit. Here's the fan. We have very limited space, but look. So I've got the claw arm there and it comes out, and this is where my phone was sitting. And this is the cord, the charger cord for my phone, at which I wrapped it around this pole because when it wasn't wrapped, it was just weighing down and making the phone do this. So, and then I've got my ring light. So that's my weird setup, so that way I could sit and give you this new beautiful angle of me in front of my altar. I wanted to talk to you about witching through anxiety because that's the life that I lead. I have very high anxiety. I used to think my anxiety wasn't that high. And I used to think it didn't really disrupt my functionality. I don't know who the fuck I thought I was kidding. But anyways, I was wrong. I was extremely wrong. So, I've learned that I actually have extremely high extremely high anxiety, and it completely disrupts my ability to live my life. And so I've been spending a lot of time over the past few years learning about it, learning how to recognize it, and the phase I'm at now, which is to me, the most important phase, learning how to move through it instead of get stuck in it. And one of the biggest things is I get stuck in it a lot with my craft. So there's lots of different things I've noticed. But today we're going to talk about what is my very biggest anxiety trigger. And it's not just anxiety. I also have panic. Like I have panic attacks. I'm pretty sure it's all related to my being neurodivergent and not having the proper resources and supports as I grew up, combined with a lot of trauma, a lot of volatility in the households, a lot of stuff. So I have PTSD. I'm pretty sure I have complex PTSD. I have lots and lots and lots of things that developed through my trauma. And I haven't quite gotten to the point where I've learned the ways the things I do where I can sit down and say, this is what I do to help me work through it. I'm at the stage where I'm finally realizing that I'm allowed to design my life to fit me as opposed to designing myself to fit life. I encourage you all to do the same. And so I'm at the point of pinpointing what's actually realistic for me to be able to do with where I am right now. I'm meeting myself where I am. Which brings me to my biggest trigger, which is relevance. So FYI, if you haven't figured it out by now, this video might not be the easiest. If after I filmed this part and I'm editing, I can find a concise wording for a trigger warning, then I will be editing and adding a trigger warning here visibly. I'm just not sure what words to use for that right now. So, but I'm going to be talking about my biggest trigger. And my biggest trigger is new things going into my body or onto my body. I don't know where this trigger came from, because just recently I remembered when I was a kid randomly eating a mushroom outside, which y'all who are adults with me, you'll be like, what the fuck? That's so dangerous. That could have been so bad. It was just a field mushroom. I was extraordinarily lucky, but I remember as a kid just plucking a piece of mushroom and eating it. To go from that to this, it's a major disconnect. And the thing that happens is I don't like trying, my anxiety doesn't like me trying new things or eating new things specifically or touching new things, because the intrusive thought I have is, what if I'm allergic and I have a severe allergic reaction and I die unexpectedly? That's what it is. Like, I'll try a new food and my brain will be like, oh my god, your throat is closing, you're gonna die. And it's not helpful. It's extremely, extremely debilitating. The truth is, it makes it so that way I will often go long periods of time without trying new foods. It is triggered even by if it's a recipe that I've had all the ingredients of, but it's a new configuration, sometimes I can't even eat that, because it's just so bad. And talking about it, I get anxious. So like my heart is starting to palpitate now. And so we're going to take a minute and I'm going to take a deep breath. If I start fidgeting and stuff with my hands, it's what I need for my brain. Anywho. And this trying new things means I have to live off of safe foods. And for those who are unaware, safe foods is like, these are tried and true. I've eaten these a billion times. I know how they make my body feel. I feel safe eating those foods. It doesn't just stop with food though, because yes, it's a lot of what I eat, but it's also what I touch. Trying new hair care products, trying new medication. Big confession here. I don't take most medication. There have been many, many, many times, including when I got my wisdom tooth removed, I was prescribed antibiotics and I didn't take it. I do not recommend it. It is not healthy or safe. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying when my brain forges an association of something that scares me, it's extraordinarily hard for me to move through that. And so I'm trying to give examples to demonstrate that while on the surface, a lot of people will say I seem like I'm fine, I live through with severe anxiety and panic attacks. So it's foods, medication, trying new cleaning products, anything aerosol, anything that touches my skin. I do have a lot more skin sensitivity. I don't have any like anaphylactic allergies, thank fuck, knock on wood. But I'm allergic to dust, I'm allergic to cats, I'm allergic to ragweed. I get a lot of hives and whatnot. And this extends to not just these things, but also to things like my oils. So up there, and this is why I'm sitting here, I have a bunch of essential oils. And I'm anxious about using them because they're new and I don't know what's in them and I don't know if I'm going to have an allergic reaction, and my brain makes me think that if I try it, I'm going to die. So, the point of this is, how do I get through that? What ways can I use my oils while I learn and work through my anxiety? What do I do to combat it so that way I'm not just stuck waiting for the magical day my anxiety is gone to finally be able to use my oils and practice my witchcraft? Like, they're gonna go rancid. There's all sorts of things. So I thought it would be really cool to share with you the ways I am able to use my oils through my having anxiety about using oils. And there's 2 ways. Okay, so I grabbed, up here I've got an oil dropper, my candle, which I'm going to show you the second way, and the oil. I'll show you all that stuff. But first is my spray. This is one of my favorite ways to use oils. And in fact, I'm hoping that the oils I have, because I have, like, look at that shelf. That shelf, it's full. It is full of oils, just completely full. So what I'm hoping to do is finish one of these and start moving those oils into spray bottles so that way I can use them, because it turns out I will use spray bottles more than I will use essential oil bottles. And what I do with this is super easy and super fun. I use spray oils to cleanse and consecrate surfaces. Pretty much whatever I want to. I've done this on my desks. I like it because by picking the type of oil, you're picking an intention, you're picking an energy, and it's a super quick thing to do. So my altar top is fairly clean. Let me move my chair. What? Moving the chair. So my altar top is fully clean. So I don't like that cloth, actually. Much better. So wipe it down first. You wipe it, you clean it regularly if you need to. I tend to just give it a clean. If you're going to use a cleaning soap, like a spray bottle that has a scent to it, you're going to want to either wait to make sure the scent wears off, or you're going to want to, I would actually just wait, because you don't know about chemical interactions and stuff. But this is clean. It's not dirty. No one eats food on here. There's not a ton of germs. The only thing that really happens on here currently is my cat has a nap. So it's pretty well good. And I take my spray bottle, I shake it, make sure it hasn't gone rancid, because that happens. So, nope, still smells fucking divine. And this one is actually one of the ones I've used the most out of. Couple sprays across it. I'm not soaking it in this. That didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Let me try again. That's better. That's it. That's all it takes. And the really cool thing about it is it does multiple things. You don't want to use something super absorbent to wipe it after, because then you're just absorbing all the oil stuff. The cool thing is, it leaves the oil. The oil conditions the wood a bit and helps keep the wood nicer. And then the smell is lingering. And because these things were made, like this one specifically, came from a witch's moon. This was made with a magical intention. It makes it look nice and shiny. It cleans it. It cleanses the energy. And it consecrates it with the intention I've chosen based on the type. Now, the thing with this is I do, yes, get some of the oil residue on my hands. So, a thing I do for that, one sec. I've fallen a bit out of the habit of it, but a thing I do for that is where I've had this before, I have a write-up of the oils I have and what are in them all. What oils are in it and what herbs are in it. And then when I've tried one, I put a star. So I know which ones I have used, and if I'd had a reaction to it, I would go back and like scribble it out or some such to know, I would note. So I know which ones I've used and which ones I've had reactions to. So I can go with ones that I've already deemed. We'll come back to this in a minute. For the other thing we do, I have my devotional candle. It's fairly simple. I keep things fairly simple for this part of my practice right now, because if I don't, I'll forget about it. I use oils with my candles. And so grab the oil. This is Hecate one. Shake it up. Give it a smell every once in a while. Make sure it hasn't gone bad. I haven't mentioned it, but since we are talking about oils, essential oils are medicine. They have physical properties. You have to do your research, especially if you have pets. Lavender oil, for example, is extremely, and lavender itself is toxic to cats. You have to do your research. So, dropper, I'll bring it closer and show you. Just give me a sec. Boop. So, again, because I don't like to touch the oils a lot necessarily, I put some in my dropper, and I put 3 drops. You don't want to put too much because then it'll burn weird. I put 3 because it's an important number for me. 1, 2, 3. And they're just there. There, you can see that. See that little shine? I just put them on the top of the candle. Nope. I put back whatever's left. Great noise, right? And then it goes back in the tissue. And I use the tissue for a while until it can't. That way the oil doesn't drip. You can clean them every once in a while, but I pretty much just use one oil at a time right now. I want more dropper bottles and things, but one step at a time. Let me put this stuff away. The main point of all of this is meeting myself where I am. Not trying to force myself to be somewhere I'm not. It's about meeting myself where I am. And it's about finding ways that work for me. Because I could sit and hope that one day my anxiety will be gone and then I'll be able to do the witchy thing. But then I'll be who the fuck knows how old, and I don't want to do that shit. So I have to find unique ways that work for me. And yeah, I'm still exposing myself to the oils, but I'm doing it in a way that feels safer. I'm doing it in a way that I feel like if something bad happens, it's a redeemable situation, right? Trying a new food, if I just ingest it and something bad happens, that's going to be a very high risk situation. It's also like when when my son was trying new things, because my anxiety extends to him as well. I told other people, I'm not going to be able to give him peanut butter because my anxiety is so bad that I can't do it. So I need someone else to do it when I am not there, and then tell me how it goes. I don't try new foods with him when my wife is not home, because she helps me remain calm through it. And if something does happen and I freak out, she'll be calm. It's about these kinds of things. It's about the ways that I feel safe to continue going so I don't freeze. Because it's not realistic or fair to me or nice to me to force and expect myself to be able to just do it the way everyone else does it when I'm not like everyone else. I have anxiety and I have panic attacks, and it's just not worth it to put myself in that unhealthy state. So we find the ways that we can challenge ourselves, that we can move through the discomfort in manageable, healthy ways. The first time I put a new oil I haven't used on a candle, I am still panicky and I am still anxious. I'm not as panicky and as anxious as if I took a brand new oil, put it on my hands, and rubbed it all over myself. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really rub it all over myself, but you get what I mean. To me, it is safer to expose myself to the oil and to the things in it from that little extra bit of distance. The dropper helps me feel safer. Putting it on the candle helps me feel safer. I do often get oil on my hands after the dropper, but it's such a tiny amount that if I start to feel anxious, I can go wash my hands and I'm going to be okay. It's not such a huge amount that it is likely to be very disastrous very quickly, right? Also, to exposing myself to the oils by smell when I burn the candles, that tells me how I feel when I actually use the oils without it being direct contact necessarily. It's giving myself a degree or two of separation. That's the word. It's giving myself a couple of degrees of separation to allow me to safely explore, to build up confidence so I can try more direct things. And also so that way I'm not stopping exploring. I'm challenging myself, and I'm doing it in a safe way and in a safe space. And that is the number one thing. That's the point of identifying triggers. We're not supposed to identify triggers so that way we run away and we never deal with them. That's not what the intention of them is in the social work field. And I know it's my field. I have a diploma in this field. So, ooh, my hands smell all good. Yummy. Sorry. They smell so yummy. It's the point of triggers is to be able to identify something. It's to have a word to put to something, to say, I am feeling triggered. I am feeling unsafe. So that way, ideally, the people around you who love you and who are supportive will help you feel safer so you can move through and figure out what's going on with the trigger, right? And exposure therapy, which is the idea, which would be if I took the oil and just doused it right on me, does not work for everybody. I am 100% certain that there are likely people who would say they used exposure therapy and it was healthy and safe for them, and that's wonderful. If that works for you, by all means, do it. Do it with a professional. Exposure therapy is dangerous. It can traumatize you. So, and for me, it would not work. It does not work. So, while some with things like oils may be able to get it out of the box and put it right on, I can't. So I need to find ways that I can still use my things and be the witch that I am and that I want to be without letting my anxiety and my panic stop me. And when it comes to essential oils, those are two ways that I do it. Well, I'm going to leave this ramble here because that feels like a really good place and a nice way to end it. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you do? How do you use essential oils? Is it an anxiety trigger for you? If so, are you willing to share with us in the comments section ways that you feel safe to explore the thing you're interested in exploring, so that way, in spite of despite the anxiety you may feel around it? Is oils just not a trigger for you? Or is it just not a thing of interest? Whatever it is, I would love to hear from you about this in the comments down below. While you're down there, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification. The channel is growing, and I'm so excited, and I'm so appreciative. And for those who have stuck around to the end, let me just clear something up that I feel like I may have misconstrued. When I did the video update about my website, which you can check out up above in the cards, I said that this is my job, and it is. I don't do this because it's my job. This is my job because I love doing it. I'm not going anywhere. I've been making videos here on YouTube since 2018. And it hasn't been my job since then. I started making videos because I love it, and because I love talking to you, and because I love sharing in the hopes that maybe it'll help someone, maybe I'll get someone to talk to about these fun things that I like. There's lots of reasons why I love this space here on YouTube so much. So, if you saw that video and there was any kind of misconstruing, I just want to be very clear. I don't do videos because I want to make money off of them. I make videos and content because I love it. And because I love it so much, I'm choosing to try and build my life and my job in the way that I can keep doing what I love. I'm not the person who's going to be capable of holding down a full-time job and doing videos, and that just doesn't work for me. So I'm just giving this everything I've got because I love it that much. So just in case, just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyways, subscribe, bell, like, all the fun stuff. Please come back because I love chatting with you. And in the description box, you can find my website, which I mentioned. I offer tarot readings, astrology sessions. I offer journaling consultations. If there's any type of content that you would like to see from me, or that you're curious about, or you want to see more of, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear feedback from you about what kind of content you're really loving of mine, especially as I'm trying new things. I'd love to hear about it. Oh, and there's my Patreon in the description box. And my Patreon is up and running until I unlock YouTube membership, which I'm so excited. I'm so close. I can't wait to get there. Anyways, I'm going to let you go because I have work to do, and I'll see you all again soon. Lots of love. Bye.